Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Jackery show over here, guys. This is, of course, their next gen solar generator release show. We have a couple of those new products on here to showcase for you guys. Now, what I will tell you though is tomorrow's show we're going to actually have those products live on hand to show you guys, which is going to be awesome to be able to show you guys that as well. Now, with that, of course, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here, of course, and on this beautiful Sunday evening, we're going to start this off with some amazing little products. Now, guys, most of you know that Memorial Day is coming up, and a lot of you are going camping. A lot of you are going to do a lot of family things. A lot of you are going to do whatever you really need. Well, some of these Jackery products might help you out while you're out doing that. Whether it be out camping, hiking, or just out on the trail, or maybe you guys just around around the house. Some of these products are going to help you out with a lot of those different places and positions. Now, we're going to start this off like we always do, guys, and showing you guys the cabling that does come with some of these packages. And that's correct. Some of these products do come with, of course, cablings and kits. Now, I have two different variations of these kits right here to show you guys. It's going to come like this in a nice, beautiful little pouch. It's going to have, of course, their logo. It's also going to have a zipper on here. This zipper is going to open up, and you're going to be greeted with a couple different variations of cables, depending on the power station you get. If you were getting the, let's say, the Explorer 1000, the other style Explorer 1000, you're going to get like the old school power brick for your wall charging. You're also going to get, of course, an adapter like this with an Anderson clip for that as well. Do I personally? I'm just here doing a show, but they do sell, yes. You also get the wall plug as well on top of that. Now, the other cool part is you may get this right here, the cigarette lighter plug to charge it as well. Now, this, of course, is the older style of cabling for some of the other variations. And, of course, they are upgrading and updating a lot of their product. So you guys are going to see the newer style cablings for those. And that's going to be, of course, in this kit right here. Now, with that, of course, you're going to pop that open and you're going to be greeted with the like your cable for your PC computers and stuff. So that's going to be your wall plug now. Now, you'll also get a different variation of the cigarette lighter plug as well, and of course an orange variation. And you may or may not get a different style of course, solar panel clips or plugs. So they do make sure that you guys do get the cabling that you need when you purchase these products. And I kind of like that. Now, with it, of course, guys, we're going to show you guys their smallest but very mighty little power station, and that's going to be the 100 Plus. Now, the 100 Plus is actually going to have its own cable kit. So it does come with a USB-C to USB-C cable. This is a 100-watt pass-through cable for it. It also is going to come with an adapter. Now, that adapter is going to be USB-C to DC plug. This is going to allow you to connect up your solar panel to charge that as well. How long does it? It depends on which power station you are getting. Will determine how fast some of these stations get. If you're getting, let's say, like the 3000 power station, you have 6 of the Jackery Explorer 200 panels. It's going to take about 2.5 hours to fully charge it. So it doesn't really take that long as if you have the proper solar panels for the proper amount of charging. Now, with it, this is the 100 Plus. The 100 Plus is 99 watt hours of power, 31,000 milliamps of power with the 100 Plus. Now, the 100 Plus has got 2 USB-C ports right here and a USB-A port. The USB-C ports are in and out ports. They are 100 watt capable for charging your phones, MacBooks, or other devices. You also have that USB-C port that is 18 watts max charging capability with that as well. Now, this is going to take approximately 2 hours to charge on a wall plug for you. Now, that's actually a quite decent charge rate for this. Runtime, it's going to allow you to run, let's say, your Nintendo Switch for about 4 hours off of this device. And I've actually done that. I've had the Nintendo Switch connected up to it. I've also had, of course, let's say, your portable monitor connected up to it. I got a little over 3.5 hours with multiple devices connected up, which was actually decent as well. This is going to be great for those of you that are traveling and want to take it for, let's say, on a car ride, a trip, or even plane rides. This will get you that power on that area when you need it. Now remember, guys, this is pretty much meant for USB-C ports and USB-A ports charging capability. So you do need to know that that's there. This is a nice little lightweight piece that's going to work out well for a lot of you. Yeah, it is actually. Some of these do have a very, very decent charge rate for you. Now we're going to talk about, of course, the 240. This is the current version. Now there's a newer version that we will be showing you guys in a minute, but this is, of course, the 240. 240 watt hours of power with this device. This is actually a good little one. This is going to be about 27% off tonight. It's about $175 for the 240. Now the 240 watt hours of power. It is a lithium battery style. It does have, of course, one AC outlet that's going to allow you to do 200 watts of pure sine wave connectability through this. Now you can peak at 400 if you need. You also got multiple USB-A ports that's going to do 5 volt 2.4 amp. The DC plug, of course, is your input plug. This is where you're going to plug in your wall plug, your cigarette lighter, or other devices. Also has a 12 volt 10 amp cigarette lighter plug over here, so you can actually charge devices, let's say like your air pumps, air mattresses, and other devices off of this. Now with this one, though, you have a fixed handle. The handle is permanently there. It also has their beautiful little logo, has their cooling technology, and silicone pads on the bottom. Now this does have Class 9 drop protection and, of course, the intelligent battery management system to keep and charge. Now it has a display. The display, of course, is going to work out well for you guys. It's going to show you guys 81% charge. It's also going to show you guys your in and output with that charge capability. This is actually going to be kind of cool because you can actually charge this device in about 3.5 hours on a wall plug. If you have, let's say, the 100 watt solar panel connected to this, you're going to be able to charge it in about 5 hours off of that. Now, that's because this is one of their original versions, so it doesn't have their more current quick charging capabilities with that. But still, that's actually a decent charge rate nonetheless. Now, with it, of course, guys, you can charge, let's say, your DSLR cameras over 15 times. Your iPhone 14s or 15s should be able to charge them approximately 20 to 24 times with this. Now, yes, you can plug a TV into this if you want to plug, like, say, that flat screen back there that you may see behind me. You can plug that in with no problem. Now, some other cool stuff is this is actually going to do well for you guys in quick emergencies or fast traveling. This is going to do good for, like, hiking trips and everything. This weighs about 6 pounds, so it is very portable and very accessible. Now, of course, this is their older version. They have updated this. And that's what we're going to show you guys next is the updated version of the 240, guys. Because the updated version is actually kind of cool. Now, the updated version, of course, if I will jump a little screen, you guys are going to see this product page today right here. Now, this is, of course, the Jackery Explorer 240, their new 2024 version. Tomorrow, I will actually have this on hand to show it to you guys in person instead of just on this page. Now, the cool part about this one is, guys, hey, Sheila, how are you doing? The cool one about this is it actually ups the watts per hour with this. So instead of 240, this is 256 watts per hour. Now, it also has, of course, one AC outlet. That AC outlet's going to do 300 watts of pure sine wave connectability. If we kind of jump over here, you guys will see the AC outlet down here. That's going to be 300 watts of pure sine wave connectability, but can peak at 600. Now, you also have two USB-C ports. One is a 100 watt in and out. The other is going to be a 15 watt output port only. Then you have, of course, the other USB-A port, which is going to be a 15 watt max output as well. You then have, of course, that standard 12 volt 10 amp that you would expect for, like, let's say, your dustbusters, your air mattresses, and stuff like that. You have, of course, the newer screen, which is going to be more higher contrast rate with that. You also have the flashlight, and this has the handle that folds up. Now, with that, we can show you guys right here. They do have a little image of the size. It's about 9 inches by 6.5 inches tall by 6 inches wide. Now, of course, right here is going to be your runtime. Bluetooth speakers, about 16 hours. Laptops, about 3 times, or phones, 12 times or more. Now, you're probably going to get more than that just depending on the device you're using. Now, this one is upgrades and goes to, of course, the Class 10 drop certification protection as well. It also forms 52 styles of protection with it on top of that. Now, your charge rate with this one, though, is going to drop. Instead of that 3.5 hours, 1 hour charge rate on a wall plug, or 2 hours with the USB-C port at 100 watts of charging capability. If you have that 100-watt solar panel, 3 hours, that's it. So it does, of course, jump that charge rate quite significantly. Now, it also works with an app, which is kind of cool as well, so you can use your app on this. And of course, safe and reliable up to about 90 centimeters or so. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've dropped my 240 about 9 feet, and it didn't hurt it, so I was not worried about it. Now, with it, of course, over here, it shows you guys the controls at your fingertips with the app. It means you guys can do auto timers, power usage, energy save modes. You can even do charge rate modes as well. It's going to allow you to turn on the plugs and off the plugs by fly of this. Now, of course, like I said, guys, this is approximately $249, but there's a $50 clippable coupon. This is, of course, the 240 V2. Now, we also have in the carousel the 240 V2 with the Mini 40 solar panel. Now, the Mini 40 solar panel is just that. It's a nice little mini solar panel. The price does jump up to about $349, but the cool part is there's a $100 clippable coupon. So what does that mean? Well, you're going to get this, of course, for about $250. That's a good deal. So you're only paying $50 more to have a solar panel with this one, which is a great rate. So if you guys need right there, guys, that's really kind of cool. The newer technology is actually beautifully well done. It only weighs about 7 pounds, of course, which is kind of cool as well. It's got their newer safe charge, and it's also got their individually wrapped LiFePO 4 cells. So if you guys need right there, both of those versions of the 240 V2 is an amazing option for you. Now, if you don't need the newer one, then the older one definitely will work for you. They're going to be great for, of course, quick emergencies, camping, traveling, and all of those other cool stuff with that. I really like those ones. Sheila, how are you doing? Ship Roman, what's up, guys? I do see that my face is really shadowed by this hat. I do apologize, guys. The bill is a little longer than most of my hats I normally wear, so the lighting is shadowing a little. So what's up next in our carousel? I believe we're going to be looking at the 300. Now, the 300 is another really cool power station. It's going to do well for a lot of you. So let's pop up the 300. It's a step up from the original 240. It does, of course, pack 2 AC outlets right here. Now, 293 watt hours of power with this one. So you're going to have a little bit more power, but it has 2 AC outlets at 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak at 600. Now, unlike the other, well, kind of like the one we just showed you, but it has 3 USB ports, 2 USB-A's and 1 USB-C. That USB-C is a 60 watt port. It is an in and out port as well. You do have a DC plug, and of course you have that cigarette lighter plug, but it has a cap over it. Now with this one, of course, it has the display and individually switched buttons. You guys will notice that there is, of course, no battery percentage, but still shows a charge. It lights up. I mean, there really isn't much battery in here, but it still lights up. Has that fixed handle and, of course, cooling technology. Now, the charge rate on this one, though, is going to be a little bit different. It's about 3.5 hours on a wall plug, 3.5 hours on a car lighter, about 4.5 hours with the solar panel. Or if you guys really wanted, use this wall plug and a USB-C port and have it charged in 2 hours. Now, runtime with this one's going to allow you to run, let's say, your Nintendo Switch for about 40 hours. That's right, a Nintendo Switch on 40 hours in the palm of your hand is kind of cool. Take this outside, plug it into a TV and that Nintendo Switch to have a game night outside. It's kind of a cool idea. Or if you guys do a lot of videography or photography like I do, you probably have stacks of these batteries and charge these up. Over 15 charges with these, and that's actually beautifully well done with that. Now, another cool part is, guys, if you really wanted to, 6 drone batteries can be charged off that. Now, drone batteries are going to be a little bit bigger. Now, they are, of course, very, very silent. And that's actually kind of cool, so you don't have to worry about hearing these run. It's not a big deal. Portable, accessible, and, of course, the 300 is a great option. It really is a really beautiful option. This is like 21% off. It's a great deal. It's going to be about $219.99. Normally about $280. So if you guys need right there. Now, the one thing I haven't mentioned tonight, if you guys buy multiple items that add up to over about $1,000, there's a banner down below. That banner is going to give you 5% off of your purchase. That's right, your purchase. So do know you guys can save a few bucks. Now we're going to move over to the Jackery Explorer 500. The 500 is a very cool little power station. Of course, we've got the table down here. The table is going to be like, what? Yeah, it's right down there. We can move this little camera line. We can actually zoom on in to the 500. 500 is right there. Now, Jackery Explorer 500, guys. We're going to talk about this. 518 watt hours of power with this. It has multiple connections. It has a single AC outlet of 500 watts, but can peak at 1,000 if need be. Now, it's going to take about 5.5 hours to fully charge this device. You have 3 USB-A ports at 2.4 of 2.5 volt, 2.4 amps, if I can remember correctly off the top of my head. And you have this 12 volt, 10 amp cigarette lighter plug plus dual DC plugs over there as well for output. Now, above that, you have a DC plug, but on this one, you still have that display. If you hit it and hold it on, it'll show you about 76% charge. When you move it to its side, you're going to be greeted with a flashlight. So this one has a built-in flashlight as well. If you guys want to go to SOS pattern, turn it and hold it on, and it will go into that pattern for you. Has, of course, a larger cooling technologies on the side. Still has that Class 9 draw protection that you would expect, but weighs about 13.5 pounds. Now, 13.5 pounds is not that bad. This, though, will allow you to run that flat screen TV back there for about 7 hours, or even a mini cooler that you would take camping for about 9 hours. If you guys want and you're without power, but you're cold, maybe you have a child that needs to be warm. Maybe you have an older adult in the house that does need warmth. About 3.5 to 4 hours of course, electricity. Now, that's a good price point right there, guys. So if you need, definitely check that one out. Now, we also have the exact same power station, but with a solar panel in the carousel. Now, this is going to be about 25% off. You're going to get the 500 plus, of course, the Solar Saga 100 panel for about $599. That's a 25% savings. That is a great, great deal. Definitely worth checking those out. If you guys want to stay in entry-level systems, that is a good option. It does work with the solar panels. You won't go wrong with that. The deal is there, and don't miss out on it, honestly. Now, for those of you that want to start going up into a larger system, let's say like the Jackery Explorer 1000. Now, we have the Jackery Explorer 1000 in the carousel for you guys tonight. Now, we can talk about it, we can show it, but hey, we can just zoom right on in because that's the 1000. Now, the Jackery Explorer 1000 is 1,002 watt hours of power. Has 3 AC outlets of 1,000 watts of pure sine wave connectability, but can peak higher than that. What I'm going to tell you, though, is this has got, of course, a little bit slower charge rate. It's going to take about 5 hours on a wall plug. If you have 2 of the solar panels, it's going to be able to charge in approximately about 6 hours, which is actually not bad at all for you. Now, with this, though, because you have 1,002 watt hours of power, it means you guys can run, let's say, electric grill for about 50 minutes, your coffee maker for over 88 minutes, or if you guys want to do a mini cooler, you guys can do that as well. Now, the one thing I will tell you guys is definitely use that heated blanket for over 11 hours, or connect up that TV for 9 hours, or just use the flashlight on the side for 65 hours. That's right. It does have a flashlight on the side, guys. Now, for those of you watching the one channel, this station alone is about $619. But if you guys want it with, of course, the solar panels, it's going to be about $999. So you do have 2 options right there in the carousels for you. Definitely worth checking those out for that. Now, what we are going to show you guys is, of course, is going to be the 1000 V2. Now, the 1000 V2, of course, is their current product. That's right, current product. Now, I do have, of course, a page to show you guys for the 1000 V2. We will talk about that, and we're going to get into this now. Product page, of course. This is the 1000 V2. The 1000 V2, of course, is 1070 watt hours of power with 3 AC outlets. Those AC outlets are going to do about 1500 watts of pure sine wave plug-in. Now, you can peak that, though, way higher than 1500. Now, it does have two USB-C ports. One is a 100-watt port. The other is a 30-watt port. You then have, of course, one USB-A port, which is right over there, right down there, guys. That's going to be an 18-watt port. You still have that 12-volt 10-amp plug, and, of course, the light. Now, that light does do multiple modes for you. Now, this is approximately $799 for the station alone. The even better part is you can have it fully charged in an hour with no problem. Now, with that being said, it has class 10 drop protection, 52 forms of protections as well for the circuitry. 1 hour charge on a wall plug, no problem. If you're using the USB-C port, a little under 2 hours. Now, this does work with the app, which is kind of cool. So if you guys want to work it with an app, definitely use that. Now, inside the app will allow you to do it and put it in quiet charging mode. Quiet charging mode means you're going to take about 5 hours to charge this device. Now, of course, running it and using it on devices, you have the apps, you have the fixed handles, and everything in between. You guys will be able to run multitude of devices because you do have 1070 watt hours. Now, there's a clippable coupon for the station, guys. $120 off clippable coupon for those of you that want that. Now, if we scroll down, we can kind of show you guys some of the devices that they recommend doing. Like heated blanket for 12 hours, mini fridges, and lamps. So you do have all of that with that on hand. Now, inside the other carousel, guys, we also have it and some solar panels right here. So you also have that version. Now, this is going to be the 1000 V2 with the 200-watt Solar Saga panel. This kit is $1,300, but there is a $400 clippable coupon. This, of course, is their 2024 version of the 1000. Now, like I said earlier, for those of you, make sure to pop back tomorrow as well because we will be showing these live. So that's the 1000 V2, beautiful little power station that's going to blow your mind. I definitely recommend those guys, so you're not going to miss that. Now, for those of you, we are going to move on to a bigger station. We're going to move into the 2000 range. Now, we're going to show you guys the Jackery Explorer 2000 Pro. Now, the 2000 Pro we have in the carousel today is a kit. Now, I don't have all of the kits sitting here, but I have the station, of course. If we go back over here, and I can get my mouse to work, we can go to the table. And with on the table, if we just zoom over to the other side, like, what? Well, there it is right there. That, of course, is being blocked by another power station. If I move it, now I'm going to hold this down and turn on the switch right there. There is your nice high contrast screen. It is a nice black background with bright orange and, of course, white writing. Now, this is going to allow you to see the input and output in bright white as well. It's also going to tell you your hertz and everything in between. You do have 3 AC outlets at 2200 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak, of course, higher than that if you need. Now, on this one, you have 2 USB-C ports at 100 watts max charging capability and 2 USB-A ports at 18 watts max charging capability as well. Now, this has, of course, a flashlight, so if I hit that light, we can turn it on. We can do the multiple brightnesses and, of course, SOS powering. Now, you still have, of course, a cigarette lighter, and it, of course, has the handle. The handle does fold down for your convenience. What I will tell you, though, is this station does weigh approximately 40 pounds. So it's got a little bit of weight. Not a lot of weight, but just enough to be like, hey, I'm not going to carry this everywhere, but we can still use it without problem. Now, the kit tonight, guys, is about 47% off, normally $3,600. This is $1,899. Now, if you want to charge it, about 2 hours on a wall plug, no problem. Nice charge rate. For those of you that want to put it in your RV or, of course, your toy haulers and charge it off a cigarette lighter plug, about 24 hours. If you have multiple solar panels, if you have 6 of the Solar Saga 200 panels, about 2.5 hours of charge time. You are getting two of these panels in this kit, so it's going to be a little bit about 4.5 hours or so to charge this with the two panels. Now, those two panels will do 200 watts of charging capability at 18 volts without an issue. Now, runtime, it's going to allow you to run, let's say, like your air compressor that's going to air up your car tires for about 86 minutes. An electric drill will be able to run for about 2 hours off of this. For those of you that want to run other devices, let's say like your 520 watt refrigerator, for about 3.25 hours. If you guys needed to, let's say you guys are having that backyard barbecue for Memorial Day, plug in your projectors, your projector screens, or even your little mini coolers to keep everything cool for multiple hours of runtime. Or maybe you guys are making daiquiris or milkshakes, 5 hours on the blender. For those of you that just want to keep your living room cool, like I am right now with the AC, 2 hours on that 1100 watt window AC, no problem. Guys, the 2000 Pro 2160 watt hours of power is a very beautiful and strong power station. I really love that one. Now, for those of you that want to step it up and out of the range of the entry level systems, that's a good option for you. But for those of you that really want to step it up and move into a very big power station, we can go into this little screen right here. Let's drop that down and let's move. Oh, wow. My camera just moved really quick. Let's go to the 3000 range. So this is their largest standalone system. Now, this is a full kit we're showing you guys tonight, so it's going to be the power station and two solar panels. Now, you're going to get 3,024 watt hours of power off this device, but you're also going to get two of the Solar Saga 200 watt panels. Normally a $4,000 price tag. This is $27.99 tonight. Now, what I'm going to get up and kind of show you guys is you have 5 AC outlets. 4 of these are 120 volts at 20 amps. 3,000 watts of pure sine wave power. You also have that fifth plug right here. This plug is going to allow you to connect up like your TIG or MIG welders, or even your old school washers and dryers. Now, it still has that nice screen. It has 2 USB-A ports, 2 USB-C ports, a center lighter plug. On the side, it's got this orange little square. That is a handle to help pick it up. Now, with this, it's got a telescopic handle behind it that you will lift up and out. This is literally like a suitcase design. Now we actually have, let's see, no, we don't want to show that. Let's show you guys the image right there. That is your suitcase design right there. Now with it, you got 2 3-inch wheels made from strong polyurethane to allow you to wheel across to most surfaces. I say most surfaces, and that's because, well, if you roll across sand, it may sink a little. Some sand is really soft. It does weigh over 60 pounds, just so you know. It's a 64.25 pounds of weight, so it does weigh a little bit. Now, for those of you that want to say, let's use it with an app, you definitely have access to that. iOS or Android-based app can be ran and used with this device. For those of you that need to know, 12 forms of protection, 9 temperature sensors, of course, are built into this device. It is also made from a fire retardant shell. Now, charging this device is going to take about 2.5 hours to fully charge on a wall plug. In your car, 34 hours in the solar panels. If you have 6 of these solar panels, about 3.5 hours. For running it, you guys are going to get a ranging of different things you can run off of this. 3 hours with an air conditioner, 220 hours with that flashlight, guys, if you need. Now, this thing is a beautiful little piece of technology that's going to work well for a lot of you. If you're wanting to run that 60-watt flat screen TV, about 35 hours of runtime. Your double door fridge is going to be about 5 hours, of course, as well on top of it. Now, you can do it for a lot more than that. You can do it to, let's say, run your table saw, your drills, your angle grinders, or even your toaster ovens. Now, for those of you who want to do movie night, you can run your 100-watt projector for about 21 hours. If you're living off the grid, you could even run a space heater for about 6 hours, or even a sub pump. That's right, your sub pump. Your little water pump's going to be about 32 hours of runtime off of that. Your TIG or MIG welder. Now, a TIG or MIG welder is going to usually range around 5,000 to 5,800 watts. So you're going to get about an hour to an hour and a tenth of runtime with that. Now, that's not a lot of runtime, but it can get that work done that you need in a timely manner. It's actually cool. I like the 3,000. Now, again, guys, this is like $2,799 for the 3,000. Definitely worth checking that out if you need a large standalone system. Now, with that being said, we're going to move over to the 300 plus. Now, the 300 plus system is a really nice one as well. It's a nice portable system. This is going to be like an upgrade compared to the fixed handle. It's got the foldable handle right here. This has got 288 watt hours of power with the 300 plus. Now, you have a single AC outlet that does 300 watts of pure sine wave power, but can peak a little higher than that. You do have two USB-C ports. One is 100 watt in and out. The other is just an output. Now, you also have a 15 watt USB-A port as well. Now, this is going to be about $236 for the station alone. Now, it does have, of course, a flashlight over here. If you guys want to turn it on, we just hold down the display button to turn on the power. And once the power's on, we can actually turn on the flashlight by holding it down and tapping it. And we can go the multiple modes with this. Now, this has the newer screen, of course, and that handle. This does weigh approximately 7 pounds. So do know it weighs about 7 pounds. You can fully charge this under an hour and a half on a wall plug with no issue, which is a great rate. Runtime, about 4.5 hours for your house fan, 40 plus hours on your Nintendo Switch. With the station alone, it's definitely worth checking out, but I do recommend the 300 plus with the solar panel. Now, you have a couple options of 300 plus. You can get it with the 100 watt solar panel, or you can get it with the 40 watt solar panel. Both of those price points will range from different price points. So definitely we're checking out the 300 plus. Now, I can show you guys the mini 40 panel that I would recommend going with that, and this is the mini 40 panel. But if you guys want the larger panel, definitely check out the 100 watt panel. That's actually marked in the carousel right now. So very cool. We're actually going to show you guys these panels coming up, so we're not going to get fully in depth with the panels right now, but we are showing you guys that. Any questions, guys? We are definitely here to answer if you have any questions whatsoever. Now, for those of you that guys are into modular systems, a modular system means you can add batteries and other devices to it. We're going to start this off with the Jackery Explorer 1000 Plus. Now, the 1000 Plus is a beautiful little power station. If I go over here and be like, hey, let's jump up here. Well, you're probably like, well, where's that? Well, that's because it's right there. And it may be a little bit harder for you guys to see. But if I zoom on in there, you guys are going to be greeted with the 1000 Plus. Now, the 1000 Plus is 1,264 watt hours of power at about $849 price tag tonight. Now, with that being said, you can fully charge this device under 2 hours on a wall plug with no problem. Now, it does have a 2,000 watt plug of AC compatibility through these 3 AC plugs. It also has the light on the side too. Now, if I hold down the switch to power it up, you're going to be greeted with this nice, beautiful display right here. Now, you do have that flashlight with multiple modes of brightness and, of course, SOS pattern, 2 USB-A ports, 18 watt max, 2 USB-C ports, and 100 watt max of capability right there. Now, every plug on board. Now, the cool part is because this is a plus system, it does work with the app. It can be controlled from the app, which I really love. Now, runtime, of course, because you got 1,264 watt hours of power, means you're going to be able to run multitude of devices from window ACs to your refrigerator to your electric heaters and so on. Now, with that, of course, $849 for the system alone is a great deal. But I do recommend, if you guys are going to get it, guys, get it with, of course, the solar panels. Now, the solar panels, of course, is going to be about $1,249. You're going to get 2 of the 100 watt Solar Saga panels with the power station, and that's a good deal for that 1000 plus and solar panels. But for those of you that want to be more modular, we can get into this because you can get it and, of course, the battery that is on the opposite side, but over here, like right there on top. So that is going to double your runtime. It's going to go from 1200 watts of power to 2528 watts of watt hour power. That means you just doubled your runtime with the battery. Now, the battery is, of course, linkable for this system. Now, what we're going to get into, though, is since you just doubled your runtime, that means you can run your 1150 watt window AC for multiple hours off a single battery. Now, technically, you can add 3 batteries total to this system. So you're going to go all the way up to 5 kilowatts of hour power. That's a good amount of power range for a system like this. Now, the system, of course, with this, the battery, the station, and 2 solar panels is about $1,749 tonight. That's a 27% savings. That's a good savings range for you. Now, the 100-watt solar panels that does come in this kit are fully waterproof and water resistant in harsh and wet weather. So you do have that for you as well. And that's kind of cool to be able to say, hey, I can get this with that. You can't go wrong with that. I kind of love that idea and that option. Now, of course, like I said, you can add 3 batteries to get 5,056 watt hours of power. That just means you're going to get, of course, the E1000 Plus and, of course, the battery pack pluses for that. It's a lot of power. Now, I've actually used this to power up inflatable decorations. I've used it to, let's say, run a window AC. And I can actually plug a window AC that I have over here into one of these devices if we really wanted to. You guys can do a wide variety of different things. Because it is expandable, you're going to get about 4,000 charge cycles per the battery for about 10 years before it drops down to about 80% battery life of that battery that's in there. Those individually wrapped LiFePO4 cells work very, very well. I actually use a bunch of LiFePO4 cells, Yinglongs, I like to call them, in my car for batteries for my stereo. Now, the fast charge rate on this is actually cool. Whisper quiet, about 30 decibels. Has the EPS auto switch, so it auto switches on with the EPS. It does have the app control on it to fly of your hand, and of course, shock resistant. Now, with it, of course, you guys have the safety standards of Class 10 UL certification, 62 forms of protection, and that fast charging capability. It is very sustainable with green power. What that means is, guys, you could use these stations inside and not have to worry about carbon monoxide runoff from like a gas generator. That's kind of cool. For those of you that are always worried about gas generators and stuff, these don't use gas. They're fully electric. You don't have to worry about those offsetting gases. And that's a good idea for that. So any questions about the 1000 Plus, I am definitely here to answer for that. We have 3 different variations. Both are very amazing variations. Now, the cool part is the guys, if you really wanted to, I do recommend like the carrying cases for these. So you guys can carry them around or put them away if you're not using them. And that's actually cool that they do make carrying cases. For those of you that are running, let's say, the solar panels, guys, I always recommend getting the extension cable as well, because you do get a 9-foot cable, or almost about 9.5-foot cable in the kit with the solar panel. But having that 16.5-foot extension cable means you can get that solar panel out there farther while having the power station put up and away out of the ring. So a bunch of very nice options for those. Any questions? Let's check all these chats. I don't see nothing. Maybe my chat's not working. Let's check. No questions. Not one question today. Now, with that, guys, we're going to move over to their largest modular system. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we're going to talk about the 2000 Plus. Now, the 2000 Plus is, if I hit the back right here, you're going to be like, well, it's a little off, and that's right, because my camera's got knocked around today. Let's see. Let's zoom in. So right down there on the bottom is, of course, the 2000 Plus. Now, the 2000 Plus is pretty much the same shell as the 3000. So you got that there. You also have 5 AC outlets. 3 of those are 3,000 watts, and of course 6,000 peak. You have that fifth, which is going to be like your TIG or MIG welders and devices on vice versa. You have that large display. Right there, we do have some LED lights plugged into it. You'll see, of course, those 4 AC outlets are lit up, of course, on there. Now with this is 2,042 watt hours of power by itself. That's a good battery range for the station alone. Now with it, of course, you have 2 USB-C ports at 100 watts max charging capability. That means you can plug in your power-hungry MacBooks or your iPad Pros or whatever device you want to plug in and run it off of that. For those of you that are, of course, Android users, use the USB-A ports if you want, or the USB-C ports, and charge those devices through that. You have 2 USB-A 18-watt ports. Above that is, of course, a 12-volt 12-volt 10-amp cigarette lighter behind a plug. Now, just like the 3000, this has got large 3-inch wheels, big old orange handles to help lift it and carry it around because it does weigh 64 pounds of weight with this. Now, charge time on this one is going to be about 2 hours on a wall plug, 25 hours in your car. If you have 6 of the solar panels, you guys get about 2 hours of charge rate with that. Now, that station alone is approximately $1,699. It's 23% off tonight. Now, for those of you that want it with solar panels, they have that option as well, which we already have checked in the carousel. So you're going to get that station and 2 of the Solar Saga 200 panels for $2,479. That's a 25% savings. That's normally $3,299, if I can remember off the top of my head, of a price point for this. So you're going to get the station, solar panels. That's all very well done and beautifully usable. Now, for those of you, though, that want to go modular and extend it, you have the kit. Now, we're going to show you guys the 4000 kit. Now, the 4000 kit is actually going to be the power station and the battery right above it. And I do have the battery sitting right above that right there. Now, that means you just doubled your battery power from 2,000 to 4,085 watt hours. Now, it is, of course, linkable with a large orange cable that works very, very well for you. Now, what that means is, of course, you're going to have to charge the battery on top of it. The cool part about the battery is these batteries on, of course, the 2000 plus kits actually have solar panel plugs on the back. So you can plug it in, solar panels on top of it. Now, with it, of course, guys, if you need it, you can add up to 5 batteries. Now, the 5 batteries doesn't come in this kit. It only comes with 1 battery, 2 panels, and the station. For, of course, 4,085 watt hours. If you have 5 batteries total, that's going to be 12 kilowatts of hour power. The cool part is, guys, is that means you are eligible for approximately 30% tax credit. Do these? No, they do not require any AA's or AAA's. They are a LifePro 4-cell built in. You don't need no batteries. It's got its own battery. Now, with it, of course, guys, you'll be able to run your flat screen TVs. You'll even be able to run your CPAP machine for about 300 hours off of this. Your laptops, your desktop PCs, like let's say your all-in-one HPs or Dells or anything. That's about a 200 watt of power. That's going to be about 24 hours of runtime. For those of you that want to run that, of course, that 10,000 watt BTU, 10,000 BTU window AC, about 3.5 to 4 hours of runtime with that. For those of you that just want to keep your fridge cold and your stuff in your freezer safe during a blackout or brownout, 4.5-ish hours. I believe it's like 4.25 technically, but depending on your fridge, how many times you open it, you're going to probably get about 4 to 4.5 hours of runtime with that. Now, for those of you that want to do like a movie night, like I said earlier, the projector alone should be able to run off of that for about 28 hours. For those of you that want to run a tea kettle, about 4 hours. For those of you that want to run, let's say, a 90 watt mini fridge, 28 hours of runtime with that. Professional equipment like your welding machine, 5,800 watt welding machine. Little over an hour and a quarter off of this one. Now, for those of you that run an angle grinders are about 600 watts of power. Technically, some range around 500 watts to 600 watts. So you're going to get about 8 to 9 hours of runtime with those. For those of you that just want to run your electric well to make sure your well water is running during the time, that's about a 60-watt pump. I think you're going to get about 40 hours or so. For those of you that want to do lawn equipment, 4.5 hours on a 2200-watt weed eater, or of course, electric lawnmower. Definitely can do off the grid, guys, like your inverter heaters. You can do your electric grills. You can do your air pumps, drones, blenders. You can even run your whole motorhome off of this if you wanted to. Cool part is, guys, what we didn't talk about though is if you really wanted to, you can get 2 of these power stations and add 10 batteries to give you guys 24 kilowatts of hour power. That should allow you to run your house all day, all night for at least a day and a half with no problem. Most of you don't have that much stuff being ran, so you have those options with that. So great little products right there. And of course, that's going to be about, I think it's approximately $35.99 tonight. Normally, it's like $5,000. So it's going to be about 27 to 28% savings, which is kind of cool. But remember, there is that 5% code down there for those of you during live that can use that code and save an extra 5% off. So you have that option to get another 5% off. Now, for those of you, we're going to start talking about solar panels. Now, we're going to start off with, of course, the 40-watt panel that we kind of showed you. This is what's called the Mini 40. The Mini 40 is a backpack-sized or even a notebook-sized solar panel because it folds up just like the size of a 3-ring binder. Now, it's got that bright orange logo right there with the Jackery little logo. It is a magnetic clasp that will flop over and around. And you do have 4 eye ringlets. Definitely use these. Now, with the Mini 40, guys, you can actually open this up and see the monocrystalline solar cells. Now, the monocrystalline solar cells are actually kind of cool with this because it does, of course, have a trifold design, but will pop out 4 panels. Now, these 4 panels are actually nice and beautiful. You can get about a 23% conversion rate in collecting that sun power into your stations. Now, this, of course, is compatible with like the 300, the 240, and so on. Now, IP68 water resistant or waterproof rating for this. That means you can use it in harsh and wet weather without a problem. Now, the Mini 40, of course, this deal is like, I think you got like, if I remember right, like 5 more days of this deal. So it's a good deal with this one. It's a $99, 23% off, but very cool. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. On this piece, you have these magnets right here. So these magnets are going to help keep it closed. But you also have on this side right here, little clasp that latch it into place with this. Now, there is, of course, a connector piece right here, guys. It's going to allow you to connect up, open up, and do that with this as well. Mini 40, guys. This Mini 40 is a beautiful little piece. Now, like I said, guys, you have multiple uses that it's going to allow you to connect it up to multiple different pieces. But if you really wanted to, you guys can definitely do direct charging for various devices. So you can direct charge, let's say, your phone on this or other pieces with the adapter cable. So you do need to do that, but can and will be able to do that. So the Mini 40 is kind of cool. I like that Mini 40. Any questions about the Mini 40? Don't see no questions about the Mini 40s. What's up with that? It's a really beautiful little solar panel, guys. I recommend it. If you guys want a nice, portable, lightweight solar panel, that's a good one to go with. So I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to pop over. We're going to show you guys the Jackery Solar Saga 100 panel. Now, the 100 solar panel is a nice, beautiful solar panel. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it up and I'm going to show you guys this. The 100-watt Solar Saga, or the 100 Solar Saga, which is a 100-watt solar panel, is compatible with the 240, the 300, the 500, the 1000, the 1500, and I believe the 300 plus as well. Now, right here, guys, is, of course, the 100 panel. Now, this 100-watt panel is going to do 100 watts of charging capability at 18 volts. Now, this is made from an ETFE laminated handle. Has, of course, the eye ringlets, which I always recommend tying these down for, of course, stability so it doesn't fly away and blow away in the wind. It does have, of course, these nice little beautiful kickstands that are Velcroed on. This will allow you to have it set up in under 30 seconds or less. Now, the really cool part about this one is, though, guys, on the back. So on the back, you have another kickstand right here that is, of course, still Velcroed, but it has a pocket. Inside this pocket is your 9.5-foot cable. Now, you will zip it open just like this, and it's going to flop down. Here is, of course, your cable. Now, this cable does have, of course, an adapter that's connected on for the different style of devices that you're using. Now, of course, the adapter is going to be it's going to be suitable for, let's say, the 1500 and the 2000, right? So that's why it's got that adapter. The rest are going to be for the smaller stations. Now, down there, you guys are going to see that orange little piece right here. This orange little piece has got a USB-C port and a USB-A port for direct charging to your cell phones, laptops, and other devices. It's kind of cool that it has that built in. When you're done, you will zip it back shut and be done with it. Now, it does have, of course, the opening. When you open it up, you're going to be greeted with magnets. You're also going to be greeted with, of course, the large. Now, this panel, of course, covers my whole body, so you guys can see this. It's a monocrystalline solar cell that's going to give you guys about 23.5% more conversion efficiency, even in low light settings. Now, you guys see that bright light reflecting off of me. That is actually all the lighting. If you guys can see this lighting over here, that's all of my light panels that I'm actually staring at right now, just glowing off of this piece. Now, nice and large piece. Fully waterproof and water resistant means you guys can wash this with a hose if you really wanted to, if it got dirty. Which I do recommend cleaning these off every so often, especially if you guys leave them outside a lot. You definitely want to get the grime off so you can actually get that conversion rate. But just one of them things. This is a cool piece. This is 20% off. This is like $238. That is a good price point for you guys. If you need 100 solar panel, definitely worth checking out right there. Now, what we're going to move on to is, of course, their largest panel. Now, it's not going to be the last product, but it is the last product in the carousel because I do want to show you guys one other piece before we go tonight. So let's start this off with, of course, the 200-watt panel. Now, the Solar Saga 200-watt panel, if I jump over here, I do have, of course, a nice little video for you guys to see. This is the Solar Saga 200-watt panel. Now, this Solar Saga 200-watt panel is going to work with the 1500 Pro, the 2000 Pro, the 2000 Plus, and the 3000 Pro systems. Now, this is going to do about 24.3% more efficiency, even in lower light settings. It does come with a nice large carrying case. That carrying case is actually kind of cool because it does zip up, but also has a clasp. Inside that carrying case is, of course, the 9.5-foot cable that you're going to need to use to plug it into the back of the system. Now, this solar panel is going to take about 30 seconds to set up. It is a trifold design with quad panels. It has 3 legs to set up and stand up in the actual yard. You'll then grab the cable, connect up the cable to the back of the solar panel, and then to the back of your power station. Now, the solar panel does come with, of course, 2 styles of plugs. Now, it's going to have a straight angle plug and a 90-degree plug for those of you that need to have that 90-degree plug. Once you have it plugged into the station, it's automatically going to start collecting power. And literally within 10 seconds of me having it plugged in, I was already grabbing about 153 to 155 watts of solar light. And that's a good amount of light. Now, this solar panel is about 29% off tonight. It's about $499 with that. That is an amazing deal for you guys. If you need something like that, definitely check this solar panel out. It's a beautifully, beautifully well done, large solar panel. Cool part is, guys, if you buy enough of these stuff, like I said, that banner's down there. Now, while this video is finishing, I'm going to grab a good piece I do want to show you guys because this is a current product. It's not in the carousel, but I want to show it to you. Jackery does have and did come out with, of course, a current newer solar panel. Now, we're going to finish this video right here, showing you guys it in action. This is the other panel that we're talking about, but we're going to show you guys this as well. So that's the 200 panel right there for you. Now, this is the 100 Prime. The 100 Prime is a glass panel solar panel. Still monocrystalline solar cells, right? But the cool part is this has actually got a metal housing. This metal housing has got, of course, the holes so you can mount it on the top of a van. Now, it does have, of course, the plug in here. Now, this plug is a dual style plug. It's got the Anderson style plug, which is right back here. If I pop this off, you guys will see that the Anderson style plug is right there for you. If you don't use the Anderson style plug, you have, of course, the DC style plug. This is about a 9-foot cable. This is a beautiful 100 Prime panel. This is a current piece. This is going to be good for hard mounting. So you're going to mount this on the roof of your vans, your motorhomes, or even your house, wherever you guys really want to mount it, permanently mount it. This is a cool one. This is a current piece. It is not in the carousel. I just wanted to show it to you guys because it did show up, and I just want to give you guys a look at some of the newer stuff that they're coming. Now remember, guys, when mounting this, you have to have mounting hardware and all of the other cool stuff, but hey, got it for you. Now again, guys, for all of that stuff tonight, we have a bunch of great deals in the carousel. Don't miss out on those. What I'm also going to tell you guys is also make sure to check out that banner because you can save 5% off if you spend over $1,000. Another cool part is if you guys spend over $1,000, there's an optional extra savings on most of these product pages that's going to help you get a free carrying case. Hey, Phil, what's up, buddy? How you doing, my man? Oh, yeah, you noticed that, the Jackery hat? Yeah, I got the Jackery hat on. It's a little large. It is shadowing my face. It's kind of, if I look down and stuff, you guys are getting, my face is kind of blocked off. It's a little longer of a build, so it's going to be great for out in the sun, guys. Definitely going to work out in the sun if you guys need a longer build style. Most of you probably know I wear a flat bill most of my life, so this is new for me, curved bill. But a bunch of great products, guys. Bunch of very awesome pieces. Now, what I'm going to tell you is, tomorrow night, I should have all of the new products on hand. So I'm going to have, of course, the 1000 V2, I believe, on hand. I should have, of course, the new 240 as well. So we're going to be able to show you guys those products that we were talking about, their new product releases tomorrow with them on hand, which is going to be cool. I did get confirmation that they are about 20 minutes from my house right now. I'm quite happy about that information because I was a little skeptical it was going to show up because of the storms in the middle of the state. So, yeah, hey, thanks. Yeah, like Phil said, guys, always give us a follow. Hit that live notification button. Don't miss these streams because we're always showing you guys a bunch of very cool stuff. No, not Jackery. So Jackery sent me some new products. Unfortunately, the middle of the United States was hit by a storm, so all shipping was kind of delayed by FedEx. FedEx got delayed because of the storms, so they didn't show up in time for these shows, but I did get a confirmation that they are close by, which is going to be great. Nope, Jackery is actually in California. Their headquarters is in California, so. Any questions about any of these products, guys, before we go tonight? I don't see. Yeah, definitely a lot of new tech, man. I'm quite happy with the new tech. I'm also very happy to be back in streaming and testing products. Oh, man, that couple of weeks off just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just love the grind. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for being here. Don't forget to hit that follow. Don't forget to hit the live notifications. I will be back tomorrow night, of course, with another beautiful stream for you guys. I want to thank everybody for being here. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. It's been amazing. See you guys all on the next one. Later, everybody.